Welcome. Welcome y'all back to Rainbow Ma. I'm so glad that you're here. Every time I get into this energy of y'all, I just start laughing. Like there is this energy there's just some good energy with the Rainbow Ma collective. So as I was doing the pre-shuffle, these 6 cards just landed and were just given to me by angels, interdimensional beings, ancestors, of the greatest, highest good of all, okay? There's conscious energies that we're all connected to for a reason. So this is an incredible message. Very obvious, very clear, that wants to get out right away before we dive into the rest of the reading. So number 1, the distorted masculine. So the distorted masculine is that energy of, war, constant looking at your watch, constantly looking at the time, constantly being obsessed with money and regulations and constriction. Okay, that's the distorted masculine, is overworking and for what? Just to wear a suit, but not to have any sort of real, true abundance. That's something that's been very loud to me lately, and that needs to be said to the collective here, is that okay, so you want the house, you want the car, you want to be able to change the world. Yes, and you will. But remember, you must enjoy the journey as you're getting there. Something really stuck with me, because I've been reading and listening to tarot for a very long time that connects with this, is that, the 2 of Wands, which hasn't come out yet, it might come out, but it shows that the person has created a castle. They've gone on the journey to create the castle already, but they didn't even enjoy the journey. So in the 2 of Wands, and it's coming to me, is that, this time you have a new choice. You can choose to actually enjoy the journey. What does that mean? Every moment. Another quote that's been really sticking with me in the ethers is, the way in which we spend our days is, of course, the ways in which we spend our lives. That is a quote by Audrey Hepburn, I think, or Anais Nin. Is, of course, the way in which we spend our lives. The way in which we spend our days is, of course, the way in which we spend our lives. So you are meant to totally heal this consciousness. Listen, we see this consciousness everywhere, okay? Because that's the age that we've been in for a while. But it does not mean that you have to choose it or succumb to its anxieties and pressures and stresses, okay? It's a big one to overcome, but I know that we can do it here. So the way in which you're going to overcome this totally and fully, because some days it's easier than others. I'm sure all of us can agree on that. Is your life purpose. You know why you came here, Rainbow Ma Collective. You know why you came here. Tell me why you came here in the comments. Tell me why you came here, and I will believe every little bit of it, okay? Get as detailed as you possibly can. Believe in your purpose on this planet and abundance, okay? You aligning with your truest life purpose, which is heart-based, okay? Which is, protecting the world in this golden light, which is, ascending from this distorted masculine way of living. It will literally provide you a waterfall, a cornucopia, a beautiful way of abundance. And yes, you have to work to get there, but the word work does not need to be in the frequency of the distorted masculine. The word work can be in the frequency. You guys, this is literally incredible. We got the divine feminine and the divine masculine with love right in the middle. Okay, so the work to do here is like, you already know your life purpose. You already know that you're meant to have abundance. You know that. Do you see it in your outer world? Those of you in this reading, you may not, but you may see it growing, okay? But you're still letting go of this frequency of the distorted masculine frequency. So let's get into the rest of the reading. This is literally incredible. You have the divine masculine and the divine feminine in love. You are unifying this within yourself, Okay, because you know that if you're gonna have a partnership in this life, it's gonna be pristine, and you know that. So please do not settle. You need to trust your intuition, okay, in any sort of relationships that you're in, and just say no if you know it's not the exact perfect relationship. Seriously, just say no. You have so many opportunities. Anything is possible. Just respect yourself. You do not have to please other people. That's what's coming through as well. Wow, okay. I already pre-shuffled everything, but I like to do it a little bit whenever I feel like we need to. Okay. So you have the Knight of Pentacles with the Devil. Now, the Devil energy does not have to scare us. The Devil energy is actually great because that means there's a huge lesson to be learned. Okay. So I'm tapping into a frequency that is very tight, that feels very suppressed. You may feel like it's going to be a long road ahead. You may feel like, you know, your life purpose is like, it's going to take so long to get there. It's going to feel exhausting to get there. It's going to feel like I'm just alone and I'm working day in and day out, and every single moment I have to focus on it so that I can get there. Like, that's the energy that's leaving your body right now, because the Knight of Pentacles isn't a negative energy. The Knight of Pentacles is sure of where they're going, okay? The Page of Pentacles is coming out to refine the Knight of Pentacles. You may have put in a lot of work and not have gotten a huge reward yet. And it may have caused you to just feel like really overworked and exhausted. Like, so obsessed with, you know, looking your best, like being like the most beautiful person out there and being the most rich person out there, but you haven't necessarily got it yet, or you've gotten it, but it still isn't fulfilling you. There's this word of like, what is going to truly fulfill you? So some of y'all have gotten that money and that, you know, beauty, but is it actually fulfilling you? I'm saying that it's not. Some of y'all haven't gotten that money or beauty, but you're too obsessed with that part of it. It's not going to fulfill you if you become too obsessed with that part of it. Because why? Your why. Tap into your why. Why are you doing this? Are you doing this for lip fillers and a Corvette and a villa on the beach? Really, truly. Why are you doing what you're doing? Have a deep why. You have the moon, but it came out upside down. So I see that you're ready to show your spiritual talents to the world, as well as your artistic talents. And see how this pentacle is a rainbow, and she's spilling the rainbow from her heart, but her eyes are closed. So you need to embrace the unknown. Whenever we feel very sure of a journey and we get so like caught up in, this is how I'm gonna get the amazing house, this is how I'm gonna get the Botox, this is how I'm gonna get the best butt, this is how I'm gonna get the most money. It just destroys like our purpose. The money will come, but why are you doing it? You need to remember why you're doing it. The people that are here, like, what is your real why? Okay, so for example, a real why, like a true why that's like deep within your heart, deep within your soul. Ask yourself that, because the rest will come. The home will come. Trust me on that one. Okay? I've been manifesting a really nice space for a long time. It came, but it only came through spiritual work. Like, listen, and also hard materialistic work. But we need to remember that our why. But I had to let go of the home. I had to let go of the idea of home and money and the perfect location. I had to let that go, and I had to go back to my why. What's my why in my heart? Well, I have someone in my life that I need to take care of, and that is the most beautiful, valuable part of my life. That's my why. Okay, that is my why. Why am I going to dedicate myself to this life's work? Your why needs to be way more deep and incredible and heart-based than just the surface level materialistic things. That's all of us go through, like recognizing that. There's an illusion that you're alone, but you're overcoming this illusion. You may have felt, I get some of you have just felt like so burnt out and so just disappointed in your pentacle journey, your materialistic journey thus far. You've done an amazing job, you need to understand, in the spiritual world, but you're breaking this illusion, okay? You're not alone, and it isn't as bad as you think it is, okay? I'm definitely getting that energy. Now, this card is coming out, the visionary, the crone of wind in Aquarius. So I see that your emotions have been wishy-washy, where it's like you've been going through really intense emotions, where you just feel like you've been working so hard, but all you get is less than you deserve. But you need to realize, to create a new vision. Your belief systems are trapping you in a reality that you don't want, okay? Create a new vision. Wow, this is beautiful. Whoa, this is so beautiful. So let's see about this vision. I'm excited for you. This is an incredible reading. Okay. Yes, so clear, so obvious. So we have the karmic trench here. We are in eclipse season. We just got out of a Pisces eclipse. Pisces is sometimes connected with past lives, karma. It's like the super spiritual sign, okay? And I could go into that, but I'm not going to go super deep into that right now. But we're going into Virgo eclipse at the end of September. So what you need to know about this card is that, are you going to keep the same cycle over and over and over? This is a really big question, because sometimes we get so caught up in our past way of thinking. Stay with me here. We're almost there. We get so caught up in our past way of thinking. My angels and spirit guides are making me laugh, because they're like, you are so ready. You are so ready. And sometimes we get so caught up in our past way of thinking that we just start digging a hole and we don't stop digging. And we forget to plant seeds of what we actually truly want to nurture. Okay, so the advice that angels and spirit guides are giving here, you're not going to have in perfect clarity. Okay, you need to know that. That's also showing up with, the planets that are showing themselves right now. I get personal astrology readings as well, and totally recommend you get one of those. But what your angels and spirit guides are saying right now is that you need to learn and practice following your bliss. People are like, no, that's not going to work. It's a waste of time. That is not true. You need to learn how to and practice it. Practice following your bliss. Write down what you want to experience at a heart level, at an emotional level, at a true level within your being, and you will have so much clarity. This is an initiation of what seeds are you going to plant in your new garden, because you have a choice. And I keep getting this. It's just getting louder and louder each day that I do a reading, but it's this message is like, you have a choice. Are you going to keep falling into the trap of working as a slave to your old, outdated, negative belief systems? Stop. And I'm saying this out of love, is you are meant to just take a step back from all those belief systems. Let them go. Something that is really important that I need to say is that it's scary to let go of, you know, our past habits, because we think that if we do, we'll die and we'll lose everything, and it's just not practical. Not true. In order for you to get what you want, you need to let go of what no longer serves you. That includes within yourself, your belief systems, your emotions, things like that that are destroying you. I see some of you have been in like immense depression over this. Stop it. That's victim mindset, okay? You need to recognize your power and worth right now. You don't have to go to school for this. You don't have to, you know, all you need to do is trust yourself, believe, and surround yourself with people like me that read, or, you know, other people that have a positive energy that's gonna get you to where you wanna go. But you cannot surround yourself with people that have negative energies. It's just not gonna work. It's just not going to pay off. Whoa, okay. Here it is. You are a person that can own your talents, own your playfulness. I get a lot of Leo energy from these, okay? These are all fire cards. Own your playfulness. Get in touch with your passion. Because if you can let go of all this stuff that's holding you captive, you can burn it up with your passion. You can burn it up with your joy. You can burn it up with like, oh, wow, you know, they're crazy. No, you're not crazy for following your dreams. Anyone that does anything is called crazy by people who haven't done it before, okay? And you're meant to own your unique way of living in this world, your unique passion, your unique power, okay? And that will give you the strength and the courage. Okay, what else do we need? Some of these. This is a deep message. Be still. Yes. And this keeps coming up for all of us too. Okay. Now that you're like, oh, okay, I see what you're saying. Be still. Be still. Be still. Someone asked me, it was like a mom. She came up to me and she was talking about running. She was talking about running. And I'm like, have you ever, you know, ran? Well, yeah, she's talking to her friend about running. She was like, I wonder how you get to that state of like the runner's high or the second wind. Have you guys heard of that? Is if you run enough for a long period of time, all of a sudden you have like a huge flood of all of these positive chemicals in your brain, and you just get endorphins and you're just like on top of the world. And I've experienced it before. I've ran a half marathon. And, you know, I asked her, I was like, so have you ran a half marathon or a marathon? Because that'll get you there. That'll get you to that experience. And she's like, no. I'm like, you got to run longer. So that came up with this, is like, even though it's saying be still, okay, there's a big message coming through. You've done enough. Stop digging. Stop giving all of your energy to digging a hole and being trapped in it. Wow. Y'all, this is big. Cultivate a space of stillness and silence to just be. I'm getting like, turn off the noise. Wow. Aha moment. awakening, new directions, and potential. Let yourself be in that energy of alignment, of security. Because there's a breakthrough coming for you to let go of this distorted masculine, of digging a hole for yourself. You don't want to do that. And the reality of it is this: you look around, see people get older. Stop now. Epiphanies sing at dawn. There's going to be an epiphany. There's going to be a huge breakthrough for you. But only if you stop worrying, stressing, working to the bone for things you don't even believe in. Yeah. Have patience and trust your plan. You have the ability to manifest true abundance, true wealth, okay? You have the Queen of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, and the Magician. If you can take a step back, reorganize, replan how you're going to approach your life from the mindset of anything is possible, and you can do it without destroying your soul. Because you can. The Magician shows us that we are capable of putting ourselves on the right track. We don't have to be disappointed anymore. It's almost like there is a long held energy of like, don't allow yourself to be burnt out anymore. We get addicted to stress. You got your angels helping you with this. I just looked at the 2 angels card and this birth card. You need to protect yourself and trust your union within yourself and within the universe itself. You need to take your focus away from the material world and your relationships that are negative and put your focus back on yourself and like your worth, your value, and your relationship with your higher understanding or your higher self or a higher being, something that, resonates with you. Okay, we have, I accept my desires as a pure expression of my essential self. I remember that my words can have multiple meanings. I shine awareness and compassion on my past. In the past, you may have not been able to communicate your desires, but now you need to take your time to do so. You need to write them to you. You don't necessarily have to tell them to everyone else. Tell them to yourself and stick with them. Have self-respect and stick with your dreams. Self-respect is sticking with your dreams. Wow. Y'all, we moved some big energy today. A lot of love to you guys. Whew. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, and reaching out to me for a personal tarot reading, oracle reading, astrology reading. It's something I would love to do for y'all. My email for that is in the description box below, and I will see you